if you want to turn it up to 11 and you got everything humming, like what is your experience and view of the best form of passive income that people can get their dirty little capitalist pig mitts on?
Ooh, that's a hard one. So the laziest form, of course, is just term deposits, putting your money in a bank, like doing it, if that's what you mean, like basically having an interest-bearing account, siphoning money off to another account that actually pays a decent rate of interest.
But how is, I guess, but how's that different than like a dividend ETF?
It's not actually. Company? It just requires perhaps less risk with it. So I guess you'd consider what your risk profile was if you're looking at that. I like to think of, I keep thinking of supplemental income sources, not necessarily what are passive sources of income other than creating new income streams in your business. But that's, you know, depending on who's delivering on that, whether it's probably not passive, that's active.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably, I mean, once you go past dividends, interest, you know, if you've got managed funds and you've got whatever they're churning out, trust distributions, there's not many other sources. You can obviously go for buying and selling equities. Good luck.
Yeah.
You need to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Daily,
the buy and
hourly.
hold is the best thing you can do for passive income.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And you see it time and time again, actually. And look, I think there's a lot to be said for this. You know, I talked a little bit, I mentioned that a friend had just recently become unstuck due to some being scammed by an advisor. And I think one of the things I always say to people is do your due diligence. So if you get, you know, you're at the barbecue on the weekend or you're out fishing and you run into somebody, Glen, and they say, hey, mate, I reckon you should buy shares in XYZ. And you go, and he says, I've already made this much. And you go, oh, okay, sounds like a good investment. I hear that our kids talking like that, and they're in ETF land, right? And the challenge is to not fall into the trap of just doing that because your mate said it was a good idea. The challenge and the opportunity is how do you build your own financial literacy by actually understanding what this thing is that you're putting money into and doesn't actually make sense, and do you really understand the company? A lot of people don't do the research. They just take the word for it.
Or in that situation, see is that ownership thing, see for what it is. It's a tip, it's a punt, it's a nothing.
Yeah.
Because I had the same situation the other day. A couple of months ago, I was at a lunch in the city. A whole heap of different people there. And I'm like, I said to someone like jokingly, like, got any good stock tips for me?
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's like, oh, this one here. I'm like, all right, stuff you. So I downloaded went to the app page or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, I've only got $1,000 in the cash count. Yeah. So I've put $1,000 in there.
Yep.
And I'm like, all right, stuff you. It's a little penny stock, done. And then like, it did like 30, 40% in the coming months, right? Now, that's fun. That's awesome. I'm not allergic to cash. But in those situations, I saw it for what it was. It was a punt. It was a nothing.
Yeah.
I'm not turning around and changing my financial strategy and putting $50,000 in there and then DCAing every month into it.
Yeah. And you weren't foregoing a repayment on your car, which you don't have.
No.
But I think that's where I see problems arising, is that people might actually do that and then realise that the credit card bill's due, they don't have the money, or the lease payment's due on the car, whatever it might be, and the money's not there because they've at lunch said, I'm just going to do that, why not? Sounds like a good idea. I think you got to have a buffer, don't you? I mean, aren't we trying to create buffers as well?
Well, I just think I'm in a lot of Facebook groups and I jump onto Reddit some nights and just have a bit of a look, and that's wild.
Yes.
The problem I see is when people get investing, because people will do it, here's my portfolio of 5 ETFs and all this crap, and what do you think? I reckon a lot of people are investing to hopefully make it solve all their problems and to not have to work, to escape from something. Yeah. But if you actually have a look at the maths of it, you get the most kind of actual dollar return bang for buck once the savings rate kind of isn't as big a deal once you're over 100,000 in an investing account, because then if it was an 8% return that year, it could be $8,000, right? So But if we go, okay, we're starting $500 a month in our investment account, to get to that $100,000, that's going to be a few years, number one. Number two, if we did get to that $100,000 in there and it did do 8% and we got an $8,000 return, my problems in life are still there.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is we shouldn't be using our investing and looking for the passive income and income streams to run from something.
Yes, you mean like a distraction. It could be
or
a distraction.
A parachute.
Yeah.
As soon as I win lotto, I will X.
Yeah, and this is where setting goals right at the start comes back, because I think we all fall into the trap often of shiny new toys or shiny objects, and it's easy to go for that. It might also be that you're sitting on the couch watching the TV or streaming something, and an ad comes up about a trip that's somewhere you've wanted to go, and the price is just like, you just got to say, oh my God, I've got to do that. That's taking you off course. So I think that's where the goal setting is so critical, because it just keeps you on track. And sure, with that you can have leeway, but I think you've got to be practical about the implications of that. Yeah, and we need consistency. And the only way you get that is by setting up a plan in the first place.
Because wherever you go, there you are. And, you know, I categorically think, because I was thinking about this the other day, when I moved to my unit on Newcastle Harbour, I'm like, it's going to be awesome. I'm going to go for a walk every morning across the harbour and all this. I was like, well, I'm not going for a walk every single morning in my current house. Sure, I might do it for the first couple of weeks and then I'll get back to normal.
Yeah.
So we can't use, and I think what I'm saying is if you're trying to get to the stage where you have that passive income because then all your problems are solved, stop now and just work on the problems. And that is, I hate my job. Okay, we'll find a new job or new career. Yeah. Okay, that could genuinely take 3, 4, 5 months. Hey, it's Glen here. Thank you so much for watching today's video. You made it to the end. Can I ask a favor? Can you hit that like button and maybe hit subscribe if you want to get notified when we release further videos just like this one, whether you watch the Money, Money, Money podcast or Retire Right. And remember, if you want to learn more about investing, I've got an investing book, The Quick Start Guide to Investing, and there's a link in the description to get your hands on a copy. Thank you so much. Bye.